So imagine you die tomorrow. You expect a white light, maybe a choir of angels, or perhaps just an endless void.
Right.
But instead you wake up, someone hands you this like cosmic wrench and tells you it is time to start building a solar system.
Yeah, welcome to the first day of the rest of eternity. I mean, it completely shatters that whole human expectation of finality.
It really does.
We tend to view death as the ultimate finish line, but in the specific ancient cosmic philosophy we are exploring today, your entire life on Earth, everything you have ever learned or built, loved, worried about, it's essentially just preschool.
Which is wild. And today's deep dive is mapping out what happens when you finally get on the bus to the actual school.
Yeah.
We are looking at a presentation that outlines something called the Roadmap of the Great Journey of Brahm Gyani.
Exactly.
And for those unfamiliar, that translates to a seeker or a knower of the ultimate cosmic reality.
Yeah, and the sources we're working from today, they map out this incredibly complex, like multi-galactic timeline of a soul's journey after death. It details how a consciousness progresses through these grand cosmic realms, which are referred to as lokas, and massive cycles of time to eventually achieve moksha.
Which is ultimate permanent liberation.
Yes, exactly.
So our mission for this deep dive is to take this massive, awe-inspiring cosmological roadmap and basically translate these deep esoteric concepts into a journey you can actually follow. We want to discover what it means for how we view our own existence right now.
I love that.
So let's start exactly where your current experience ends, Earth, or as the sources call it, Ritiyulik, the mortal realm.
Yeah, and the roadmap makes a really compelling point right from the start. It basically states that complete knowledge of Brahma, like the ultimate unvarnished reality, it is almost impossible to achieve while in a human body on Earth.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
Well, the text notes this level of realization only happened for a rare few during ancient, much purer ages like the Satya and Treta Yugas.
Ah, okay. So Earth is just too dense right now.
Um,
It's like trying to learn advanced calculus in the middle of a loud, chaotic rock concert. I mean, you can read the textbook, but you can't really apply the math.
That is a perfect analogy.
So if a seeker successfully practices spiritual knowledge to the best of their human ability down here, their physical death is basically a transfer. Their soul leaves the body and travels to Swargalok, heaven.
Right. And the reception there is quite a lineup. The texts describe the soul being greeted with immense respect by Lord Indra, who is the king of the gods.
Okay, pretty good welcome committee.
Yeah, but Indra is just the greeter. He actually hands the soul over to Brihaspati, the guru of the Devas, and that is where their real education begins.
It's sort of like getting accepted into a high-tech cosmic Ivy League university after, surviving an underfunded high school.
Yeah, and Brihaspati is basically the dean of admissions getting you settled in.
Right. But, what does the curriculum actually look like? Because on Earth, we sit in meditation, we read texts, we study theory. What is a soul actively doing in heaven?
Well, they are finally introduced to the actual practice of this knowledge. So they mingle with highly advanced sages, Devarshis, Maharshis, Brahmarshis, and under their guidance, the practice becomes active and literal.
Literal in what sense?
It's what the texts call a sagun practice, meaning it is with form and physical attributes. So they learn by literally creating miniature planetary systems.
Wait, really? So they're actively building planets?
Yes.
But they must need some kind of raw material or tools, right? You
Yeah.
can't just build a solar system out of thin air.
No, you definitely can't. And that is where the texts introduce this concept called the yellow cycle or the Parameshwara chakra. The cosmic tools they use are the three gunas.
Okay, let's break down those gunas for the listener because I know they are central to this whole roadmap.
Yeah, they are. So the gunas are the fundamental operating forces of nature in this framework. Up until now, a seeker might have understood them philosophically, but in this realm, they learn to manipulate them on a physical, stellar level.
Okay, how so?
Well, the Rajas quality, which is active, fiery, and turbulent, that is shaped into a sun or a star.
Right.
Then the Sattvic quality, which is pure, stabilizing, and balancing, that gets compressed to a neutron star. And Prakriti, the material nature itself, becomes the surrounding solar system.
Okay, so it's less like playing a video game where you just drop a sun onto a map, and it is more like being a cosmic glassblower.
Oh, I like that.
You aren't just placing objects, you are physically breathing your own spiritual energy, these gunas, into a sun to keep it burning. And if you lose focus, the glass shatters.
That is a much more accurate visualization, yeah.
Yeah.
They are manually holding the tension of these massive celestial bodies, and the sources say a rare, truly advanced seeker learns to keep this customized Earth stable for an entire Manvantara.
Wait, let's clarify the timeline here, because the sources throw around words like Manvantara and Kalpa. A Manvantara is a massive cosmic age, right? Like a specific era of time ruled by a certain set of divine figures.
Exactly. A Manvantara is incredibly vast, roughly millions of human years, but it is actually just a fraction of a kalpa.
Okay.
A kalpa is a grand epoch. It's like a full day in the life of the cosmos, which contains multiple Manvantaras.
Wow.
Yeah, and during a single Manvantara, this advanced seeker watches beings get created, live, and meet their end according to the shifting ages, the yugas. They are mastering the rhythm of life, death, and time from like a planetary control room.
I mean, if you're listening to this on your commute or looking out a window, just pause and look at the sun for a second. According to this specific roadmap, that isn't just a ball of burning gas. That is the literal fiery Raja's energy of an advanced soul actively practicing their cosmic glass-blowing craft.
It really makes the sky feel a lot more crowded, doesn't it?
It totally changes your relationship to the night sky.
Yeah, but the practice doesn't stay stable forever. At the end and the beginning of a Manvantara, the sources describe a really dramatic cosmic event. Two or more of these crafted Earths physically collide.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and when this happens, all the foundational souls within them merge into one, preparing for a higher cosmic ritual, a yajna.
I have to stop you there. Planetary collision sounds terrifying. I mean, from the perspective of anyone on those planets, it's apocalyptic fire and total devastation. Why is physical destruction a prerequisite for spiritual merging?
Well, because matter is a cage. As long as those souls, which the texts actually call the Vishnu Paitva, essentially the foundational preserving essence of a soul, as long as they are bound to separate physical planetary spheres, they maintain separate identities.
Ah, okay, so the physical shells have to shatter so the spiritual cores can, like, bleed into one another.
Exactly. The collision isn't a punishment, it's a cosmic crucible. It's the ultimate yajna, a sacred fire ritual, but on a macro scale.
Right.
The destruction of the physical is merely the mechanical mechanism used to unite the spiritual.
Yeah.
And when a seeker successfully manages this massive merging event, satisfying their divine guides like the Saptarishis and Prajapati, they are finally freed from this three-guna illusion.
They graduate.
They do. They transcend the lower galaxy system entirely. In the texts, this lower three-tiered system of existence is defined as Bhu, Bhuva, and Sva, essentially the earthly, atmospheric, and heavenly planes. They outgrow them all and arrive at the next grand realm, which is Maharlik.
And arriving in Maharlik marks a pretty fundamental shift in how they practice, right? Like, we're moving from Sagun, which is practice with form, to Nirgun, formless.
That's right. In Maharlik, the seeker is no longer inside a single galaxy giving offerings into a cosmic fire. They have zoomed out. They are now outside, feeding and sustaining multiple galaxies at once through a formless practice.
It's like going from being a mechanic working on a single car engine to becoming the invisible laws of physics that allow all engines to run everywhere.
Yeah, but being the physics isn't the final step. Once you can sustain a system from the outside, the next logical hurdle is understanding the original blueprint of that system. You know, you can't just be the physics, you have to know the architect.
Right. And that realization is what pulls the seeker up into the next realm, Janalok. And there's a really crucial note in the sources about Janalok that we have to highlight for you. Up until this point, from Earth to heaven, through the yellow cycle, building solar systems, all the way through Maharlik, every single seeker's journey is entirely unique.
Yes.
No two paths are the same.
It really emphasizes that the universe values individual experience. You build stars your own way. But when they reach Janalok, the fragmented paths finally converge. This is where all journeys merge into a singular path.
Oh, wow.
And here they receive the true, unadulterated Brahmachnana, the ultimate knowledge, directly from the sons of Brahma.
Which equips them for the next level, Topalok. Because if you thought building a single solar system was intense, the stakes go up exponentially here. In Topalok, the seeker learns to construct and carry entire galaxies.
Yeah, notice the progression of scale. And the merging continues as well. By this stage, the text points out that the seeker has merged with other seekers over and over again. So they are no longer a singular human consciousness remembering an old life on Earth. They are a vast collective entity.
And when a cosmic age ends here, they literally collide their entire galaxy with another galaxy. And the result isn't a mess of scattered stars. The two become one, creating a brand new galaxy with entirely new qualities.
And this galactic merging leads to the final realm of this cycle, which is Satyalok. This is where the ultimate realization, the Buddha of Purna Brahma, occurs. And Purna Brahma basically means the absolute, complete, unfragmented truth of the cosmos.
Now, there is a specific, fascinating condition to enter Satyalok. The source explicitly states that to cross this final threshold, the seeker must completely conquer a specific human trait, anger.
Right.
And I read that and immediately wanted to push back. I mean, of all the complex cosmic physics, the galaxy building, the manipulating of the fundamental forces in nature, the final boss is anger.
Yeah, it seems surprisingly mundane, right?
Exactly. Why is conquering something as common as human anger the key to the highest realm?
Well, to understand that, we have to look at what anger actually is mechanically, beyond just being a surface emotion. In this philosophical framework, anger is the ultimate anchor of the ego. Just think about what usually causes it.
Usually it's when someone cuts me off in traffic or, a situation doesn't go the way I want it to.
Exactly. It stems from a perceived boundary between you and not you. It comes from a feeling that your desires or your rights or expectations have been violated by something external.
Right. Okay.
So anger relies entirely on the illusion of separation. If you are angry, you inherently believe you are separate from the object of your anger.
Because if everything is one, who is there to be mad at?
Exactly. The entire goal of this journey so far has been merging. Merging souls, merging planets, merging entire galaxies. You cannot successfully merge with the absolute unity of Purna Brahma if there is even a microscopic trace of ego remaining. Anger is the last, most stubborn defense mechanism of the individual ego. Conquering it means you have finally, truly realized that there is no other.
You can't hold up the universe if you're still mad at it. That is incredibly profound. So you conquer anger, you drop the illusion of separation, you enter Satyalok, you achieve the ultimate realization of Purna Brahma, and you'd think, well, what a journey. Roll credits.
Yeah, but the roadmap hits us with a massive twist here. The revelation is that everything we just discussed across trillions of years, that was only cycle one.
The yellow cycle is done. Welcome to the blue cycle, or the Paramatma Chakra. And in this cycle, the very nature of the seeker changes fundamentally.
They are no longer a soul ascending the ranks of creation. Upon entering the blue cycle, they become an amsha, a literal fragment or portion of Brahma, the creator itself.
That is a huge promotion.
Yeah, you aren't just learning from the creator anymore, you are deputized as the creator.
And your responsibilities scale up to match. As a fragment of Brahma, you manifest in Tapalok again. But this time, you aren't just carrying a galaxy. You are building entire universes.
Right.
And you're doing it based on the wisdom of the Vedas and a new, much more complex set of cosmic tools.
Because in the first cycle, they were working with three gunas, right? The trigunmaya nature, manipulating rajas, sattvik, and prakriti to build physical planets. But to bake an entire universe, you need more complex ingredients. This new universe operates on the panchagunmaya, the 5 gunas.
Let's break these 5 down, because how you mix them determines literally everything about the universe you are building. The sources list them as tamas, rajas, sattvish, sankirna, and rajastamaya.
Yeah, so tamas provides the grounding, the darkness, the inertia. Rajas is the kinetic, fiery energy of action.
Okay.
Sattvik brings light, purity, and balance. Sankirna is a crucial addition. It literally means mixed or complex, allowing for nuance and gray areas in creation.
Interesting.
And finally, Rajastamaya combines action with a kind of overwhelming, pervasive momentum.
The fascinating part is that you don't just dump them all into a bowl evenly, right? The dominant guna out of those 5 determines the entire nature and flavor of the universe for that specific cosmic age.
Exactly. If tamas is dominant, you get a universe that is dense, slow-moving, perhaps more physical and materially bound.
Right.
If sattvik is dominant, the universe is highly ethereal, focused on spiritual harmony and light. The fragment of Brahma is essentially mixing these fundamental energies to set the operating rules of reality. They manifest the deities, they manifest the sages, the asuras, to expand creation all the way down into the mortal realms.
It's a vast, self-sustaining system, and you oversee this specific universe for 14 manvantaras. But even this role has a rhythm. At the end of that massive span of time, the fragment of Brahma gathers up all the souls in that universe, essentially pulling the entire creation back into themselves, and they go to sleep.
Yeah, and when they wake up, as galaxies collide again, they start over.
This completely shifts how we think about divine creation. It's
Yeah.
almost mechanical. It's like you become a cosmic hard drive.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
The universe runs, life is lived, data is generated, and at the end of the age, you go to sleep, back up all the data, which are the souls, and when you wake up, you reboot the universe.
Yeah.
But you reboot it with a new operating system based on whichever of the five gunas is now dominant, complete with new deities to run it.
The cosmic hard drive is a perfect analogy because it really decentralizes the traditional image of a singular, micromanaging deity sitting on a cloud directing traffic. It replaces that with a breathtakingly efficient physics of spirituality.
Right.
The most advanced elements of the creation mature into becoming the creator.
Now, there's a specific detail in the sources about this endless cycle of kalpas that really grounds this huge concept.
Mm-hmm.
Across these different vast cosmic epochs, as this fragment of Brahma keeps rebooting universes,
Yeah.
the original soul changes forms. It states that they live as male, female, or eunuch in different cosmic epochs.
Which makes perfect sense when you look at the goal. To be the ultimate creator, you cannot have a biased perspective. Living as male, female, and eunuch across different epochs isn't random. It's cosmic empathy training.
Wow, empathy training.
Yeah, it further strips away the human attachment to a singular identity. I mean, you can't manage the infinite complexities of a universe if you only understand one fraction of the lived experience within it.
It's dizzying. It really is. The sheer scale of time and responsibility is just hard to wrap your head around. So we have to ask, does this ever actually end?
That's the big question.
We've gone from Earth to heaven to blowing glass suns to merging galaxies to becoming a fragment of the Creator, rebooting universes and switching identities for countless kalpas. Is there an off-ramp?
The roadmap does have a final destination. The source explains that after an untold number of kalpas acting as a creator, once the seeker has completely satisfied the Paramatma, the supreme soul, in this blue cycle, the final release happens.
The ultimate graduation.
Exactly. That fragment of Brahma becomes completely free. They exit Mahavishnu, meaning they step outside the grandest matrix of creation, preservation, and destruction entirely, and they finally attain absolute moksha. True, final liberation.
Cycle stops.
The cycle stops. The roadmap is complete.
Wow. Just, wow. Okay, I want to bring you, the listener, back down to Earth for a second. Back to Maruluk, where we all currently reside. We just took a journey that spans trillions of years and multiple layers of reality. And it's easy to look at a roadmap like this and feel incredibly small, like nothing we do down here matters.
It is a humbling scale, certainly.
But I actually find it strangely comforting. Because if our ultimate destiny, the true potential of the spark inside us, is to build galaxies, conquer the ego, merge with other souls, and serve as the cosmic hard drive for new universes, well, how does that change the way we view our mundane, everyday anxieties today?
Right.
Getting passed over for promotion, a flat tire, a bad text message.
Yeah.
When you look at it against the backdrop of the blue cycle, it really takes the pressure off.
It provides the ultimate context for human suffering and frustration. It reminds you that the struggles of today are literally just the friction of your very first practice sessions. You are struggling to learn the alphabet so you can one day write the laws of physics.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the Brahm Gyani's great journey, we want to leave you with a final thought, something to mull over as you go about your day in this dense, chaotic realm.
We mentioned earlier that the sources make a very specific point. Everyone's spiritual journey is completely 100% unique, with no two paths being the same until they reach Janalok deep into the cosmos.
The grand convergence point.
Right. So if our paths only merge at the very edge of the cosmos after we've already built and collided solar systems, it means the exact life you're living right now, with its specific mix of joys, traumas, weird coincidences, and daily grind, it is a completely bespoke curriculum.
Yes.
No one else in the history of the universe is taking the exact class you are taking right now.
The universe customized this reality just for you. So the question is, what entirely unique lesson is the universe trying to teach you right now before you're ready to start building stars? Because remember, everything you're dealing with today, it's just the first day of kindergarten.
Better start paying attention in class.